Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Communicator Toolbox. So today we have a different kind of setup because today we are going to talk something really very different. So I hope you like it. So my dear friends, sometimes I think and wonder what happens if we don't have a name at all. How can we call people? How we'll get identified among others? Then I understood naming plays a very important role for things to get identified and also to get differentiated among others. Today in this video, we are going to talk about such naming concept. In English grammar, we have a different name for it. Noun. So in this video, we are going to discuss what is a noun and what is the different kinds of noun in a simple way. So now without much delay, let's get started and don't skip this even for a second because this is not only for school going, college going students. We are going to learn this in a very fun way. Stay connected with me throughout the video. So guys, first we'll see what is a noun and then we'll move on to the different kinds of noun we have. So to make it simpler, let's go to our childhood days. In childhood, we used to play a game called Name, Place, Thing, Animal, in which we have to write a name of a person, a name of a place, a name of an animal, and a name of a thing. So that is, we'll relate that to a noun because noun is nothing but a naming word, my dear friends. Anything we name, whether it can be a person, it can be an animal, it can be a place, it can be any quality, it can be any event, it can be any idea, everything we name that comes under noun. Let's see a few examples for better understanding. So you can see 3 examples here. Let's move on with each individual line. In the first example, you can see Payal is writing. So here, Payal is a name of a person. So here in this line, Payal will become noun because it is a name of a person. In the second line, I like chocolates. So there is a name of a food here, which is chocolates. Favorite for everybody. So since it is a name of a food, this chocolates is a noun here. In the third example, Raghu lives in Delhi. So here we have a name of a person, which is a noun, and also we have a name of a place, Delhi. So here Delhi becomes noun. So in the first sentence there is a name of a person, in the second sentence there is a name of a food, in the third sentence we have a name of a place. So any name indicates noun. I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the different kinds of noun we have. So the first noun is proper noun. As the name indicates, this noun refers to only a specific object, which indicates only a particular thing. For example, you can see, I don't like all sweets. Jalebi is my favorite. So I'm particularly referring to a specific sweet, which is jalebi. So here this becomes a proper noun. When we don't refer anything in common, when we particularly points or indicates only a specific object particularly, that becomes a proper noun. The rule of proper noun should be, it should always be indicated in capital letters. So let's see to the examples of proper noun for better understanding. So here we have 3 different examples which indicates proper noun. Let's move with each individual line. In the first line we have Ram is the best student. So I have many number of students in my class, but I am referring to only one particular person, Ram, which becomes a proper noun. As I am particularly pointing to one student. Jaipur is called Pink City. So we have different cities in our country. No other city can be a pink city other than Jaipur. So here Jaipur becomes a proper noun because I am pointing to a particular city name. I like horror movies. So we have different kinds of movies, right? But I like only to watch horror movies. So here I am particularly mentioning one category of movie which becomes a proper noun. So whenever we refer something specifically, that becomes a proper noun. So let's move on to the other kind of noun. So the second kind of noun we have is common noun. As the name indicates, everything will be in common. That is when we refer something in general, not specifically pointing to a particular thing, that becomes a common noun. So as you can see in the example, farmers are backbone of our country. They do very hard work, because of them we eat every day. So farmers are a backbone of our country. Here we are not particularly mentioning a specific farmer name, we are referring in general farmers. So whenever we talk something in general or whenever we refer something in general in common, that becomes a common noun. Let's see some examples for better understanding. So here we have three different kinds of example that refers to a common noun. Let's see the first example. Can I borrow a pen? So here what can be a common noun? Here we have two different kinds of noun, I and pen. So I, this is a specific noun, right? But pen is a common noun because I'm not referring to any particular color of a pen, or I'm not specifically mentioning any particular company pen. I'm generally referring to a pen. So that is a common noun. Let's see another example. I like to listen songs. So here songs will become a common noun because I'm not referring a particular language song, or I'm not particularly referring to any genre, any specific kind of genre, melody, fast, pop, devotional. I'm not referring to any particular genre of a song. So that becomes a common noun. In the third example, reading books is a good habit. Here I said that reading books is a good habit. I have not mentioned specifically any particular kind of a book, a horror, a novel, or a fantastical, any kind of particular book I have not mentioned. I generally refer to books. So here that become a common noun. So whenever we refer something in general, that becomes a common noun. Let's move on to the another kind of noun. Here comes the third kind of noun, which is a very simple noun from all the other nouns, that is concrete noun. So as you can see in the definition, the physical things that you can touch, that is whichever the thing you can touch becomes a concrete noun. Book we can touch, table we can touch, chair we can touch, this board I can touch, the marker I can touch. Here I have my mobile pouch, a cute mobile pouch, this I can touch. Whatever the things I have around, I don't have anything more. So anything that we can touch becomes a concrete noun. So basically concrete nouns are tangible. So let's move on to the examples for better understanding. Now we'll play true or false. So here I have four different kinds of examples. We will say which is a tangible thing and which is an intangible thing. That is, which thing we can't touch, which thing we can touch. Ball, we can touch. Yes or no? Yes, definitely we can touch a ball. Pendant, the chains locket pendant, we can touch. Yes, we can touch. Fire, we can't touch. Rain, we can touch. Obviously we can touch the raindrops, right? So here everything that has yes are concrete nouns because we can touch those things. Fire is not a concrete noun because we can't touch it. So I hope you understood because this is very simple. Let's move to the different kind of noun. The next kind of noun we have is abstract noun. So abstract noun differs by our senses. That is, either we can see it or we can hear it or we can taste it. That is, we can feel it. For example, you can see soup is delicious. So I can't touch delicious. I can only feel it by tasting the soup, right? So that comes under abstract noun. We'll clearly understand abstract noun with more examples. Here we have three different kinds of examples that defines an abstract noun. I get scared of insects. So here scared becomes a abstract noun because we are referring to a particular quality, that is, we are naming one of a quality or one of the emotion scared. So scared can't be touch, it can be only feel, right? It is a kind of feeling. So that comes under a abstract noun. Let's have a more clear view of abstract noun by the second example. Ram is strong. So here I am referring the quality of a Ram, how Ram is. He is strong. So that refers to an abstract noun. There is beauty in nature. So here I am referring the quality of a nature which is beauty. That becomes a abstract noun. So you might get it out. Generally, quality defining is a work of adjective. Now, what is the difference between an adjective and abstract noun? To know that, stay connected with me through all my videos. Please subscribe my channel Communicator Toolbox because in the next video, we are going to discuss what is the difference between an abstract noun and an adjective. So, basically, an abstract noun is a kind of noun that refers to a quality or anything that can be only felt by our senses. So let's move on to the another kind of noun we have. The next kind of noun is countable nouns, which is a very easy noun to recognize. The name says countable, that is the things which we can count. Here I have three different markers, so I can count how many markers I have. 3. So this becomes a countable noun. I can count how many mobile pouches I have. I have 1 mobile pouch, so that says this is a countable noun. So I have 1 boat, so I can count how many boats I have. So that becomes a countable noun. So here I am referring I have 1 book with me, so I can count how many books I have. That comes under countable noun. So any noun, any naming object that can be count comes under countable nouns. Let's move on to the other kind of nouns we have. Next noun, which is exactly opposite to countable nouns, is uncountable nouns. As the word says, we can't count it. We can't count the number of things we have. Generally, we need measuring words to quantify them. Now, what is measuring words? Words such as many, lot, or some. So, these are called measuring words. So, generally, we need these kind of measuring words to define or to quantify a countable noun. For example, here you can see a glass of water. So can you count how many drops of water you have in the glass? I can't, right? So this is an uncountable noun. Here you can see some granules of sugar in a cup. So we can't count how many granules of sugar we have in this cup. This becomes an uncountable noun. The stars in the galaxies, the number of birds we have in the sky, the number of drops we have in ocean. So everything that we can't quantify in numbers, that becomes an uncountable noun. Here there are a lot of fishes in oceans. So we can't count how many number of fishes are there in ocean. So here it becomes a uncountable noun, and we are using a measuring word lot to quantify it. Let's move on to the other kind of noun we have. It's the another kind of noun, collective noun. So as the name refers, any noun that denotes in group, that is in a collective form, that becomes a collective noun. For example, bunch of grapes. So here I have many grapes with me, so that becomes a bunch of grapes. So collection of grapes is called a bunch. Flock of sheep. So here there are many sheep, so that sheep group is called a flock, which is a collective noun. Crowd. When we have a group of people gathering, that can be referred as a crowd. So anything that we can define in group, that becomes a collective noun. So now let's move on to the last kind of noun we have. So here comes the last kind of noun, which is compound noun. Compound noun is nothing but a noun that is formed by two or more words, as you can see. One word plus one word plus one word. So more than one word is a compound noun. Now this word can be a cluster of noun plus noun or noun plus adjective. It can be like soap box. Here we have two different kinds of words, soap and box. So this is a combination of two words that formed a single noun, which is compound noun. Football. So we have two different kinds of noun, foot and ball. So these together combined and formed a new word, which is compound noun. So let's see the kind of compound noun we have. We have compound noun categorized into three kinds. Let's see it. So these are the three different kinds of category we have in compound noun. The first one is open. So here you can see a space between this word. So this kind of noun which has space between the two words, that becomes a compound noun. So bus stop, which is formed by a noun bus and a stop, becomes a compound noun. And the second kind of compound noun we have is hyphenated. That is, we'll have hyphens between the words. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law. So for all these relations, we have hyphen between them. Mother-in-law, which is formed by the word mother and law, is hyphenated, which is a kind of compound noun. And the last one is closed noun. So as you can see, there is no space between these words, foot and ball. So football, which is formed by the combination of noun foot and ball, becomes a kind of compound noun. So my dear friends, that's the end of this video. I hope you found this video useful, and if you like this video,
Please give it a big thumbs up and share it among your friends, and also please subscribe me to Communicator Toolbox, and also please comment me your comments in the comment section without fail. So that's for today. Thank you for staying connected. Take care. Bye bye. Stay happy.